Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how many of you have had your eye on Candace Owens, and I don't blame you if you don't for obvious reasons. But if you go look at what she's been putting out over the last several weeks, Candace has been going hard in celebrity news. And I believe this has a lot to do with the fact that her handlers cut her off over her stance on the Israel Hamas war. She took a position that favored the Palestinians. And because of that, they have cut her off. They turned on her. Now, I've heard Candace speak about celebrities before, but she's really going extra hard now. And of course, it's all disdain for black celebrities. She wouldn't dare do the same thing to a whole group of white celebrities. She may throw some in the mix, but her target will always be her own people. Now, why? Well, the political world is not embracing her anymore. See, the people that she upset had a lot of influence out here to the point where they can keep her out of certain circles. And let's be real, she can't run back to Donald Trump because she fell out with Trump a few years back. And Trump just, once he don't deal with you anymore, that's it. You see what happened to Omarosa. And Candace has gone down that same path. Donald Trump is not feeling her. His first term in office, Candace, you would see pictures of her up at the White House if they had certain events, and she would be taking pictures along with her husband with Donald Trump. That is not going to happen. She is never going to make it up to that White House under Donald Trump. And we know because she is Republican, she's never going to make it up there under Joe Biden either. So I think her Washington, D.C. days of being invited to the White House, I think those days are done. And that's why she is switching gears and going towards celebrity news because it is never going to be the same for her in the world of politics. And that's what she rose up on, you know. And she was chosen because she was willing to come all out against her own. And people are never going to forget that. So lately, she is still doing work for the Daily Wire, but she is going hard with the celebrity news and calling out. Um, she's literally calling out the Jews that run Hollywood. She's going hard in that. And we already know about that from Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein, who had a lot of clients out of Hollywood, both in front of the camera and behind the scenes. That's what that black book and the whole list of people. Yeah. So we are fully aware of all of that. And she is now sitting and bringing all of that out now, and, that's going to make her situation even worse with them folks. We already know that. So she is calling it sinister and all this stuff about Hollywood. And we know Hollywood is evil. We have heard it from celebrities and even celebrities that have walked away from the industry. So all she is doing is kind of reiterating many of the things we already know, but she is calling out them folks very loudly in these recent articles if you go out there and look at it. But Candace is shifting gears, and y'all don't be surprised if you start seeing her trying to crawl back, but she is never going to be embraced in whole by the Black community. And if you remember, at the end of Donald Trump's reign in the White House during his first administration, towards the end, she wasn't getting invited. She wasn't getting invited because the Black um, Republicans turned on her and was telling Donald Trump not to invite her. And he didn't, if you remember, towards the end, when he would have events, she would not get invited. So it was really the beginning of her end when his administration was over. And now it's really over. She has no relationship with Donald Trump or even MAGA. And not to mention the fact that even, Donald Trump has been calling out all kinds of people. Now, if she was really in with them, don't you think he would want her to help in getting that black vote? Remember, she did that Blexit, trying to get more people over to the right from the black community. Nobody's even calling on her at all over that. So she's been doing an awful lot of stuff on Diddy and Hollywood and, and that kind of stuff. The same stuff that you hear from other YouTubers that been keeping track of that. She's now jumping on the bandwagon and bringing out the news. And recently she did one on Michael Jackson, Kanye, and Diddy. And and she's like, well, I'm done being threatened. Well, Candace, who is threatening you? Your former handlers? Because I don't think we care enough about you to threaten you, in your we just don't care. We ain't feeling you like that. You're not even worth a threat.